Doesn't matter what I'd call it.
I told you no one walks away from me.
This is not merely the end of a romantic relationship. It is a psychological amputation of a toxic limb. For the entire series, Jaime has existed not as an individual, but as an extension of his twin sister's will, a shadow to her light. As Cersei famously declared, they were one person in two bodies, a statement that reveals her view of Jaime as a self-object rather than a partner. This scene represents the moment Jaime achieves individuation, violently severing the bond that defined his existence to reclaim his agency. To understand the gravity of this schism, we must look at the immediate aftermath of the Dragon Pit Summit. Confronted with physical proof of the White Walkers, Jaime believes a truce has been struck. He is operating under the belief that the Great War against the dead supersedes all political squabbles. He has begun organizing the Lannister forces to march north, believing he is saving the realm. However, Cersei has been playing a different game. While Jaime was preparing for existential survival, she was plotting strategic suicide. She has secretly conspired with Euron Greyjoy and the Iron Bank to hire the Golden Company, intending to let the monsters kill each other in the north while she reconquers the south. Jaime enters the courtyard believing they are allies in the war for the Dawn, only to discover that his sister has chosen to be a fox in a world that requires lions, setting the stage for a confrontation between political cynicism and moral reality.
Our men in King's Landing will march north in 3 days' time. We'll meet at Lord Harroway's town and march together to Winterfell.
The scene opens by establishing Jaime's transformation into the Winter Soldier. His command style is urgent and existential. He has fully internalized the threat. If the North falls, we fall. This demonstrates clarity of purpose, a concept which is essential for breaking out of aimless wandering. Jaime is no longer concerned with court politics or logistics. He is operating on a survival timeline. He is effectively acting as the hand of the king here, mobilizing the entire military apparatus of House Lannister for the Great War, unaware that his authority is about to be stripped away.
So, Jaime.
Your Grace.
My lords, I need a moment with my brother.
Jaime dismisses them and the lords exit. The formality here is icy and deliberate. Cersei addresses him not as brother or love, but by his title, Sir Jaime, reasserting the hierarchy. By dismissing the lords, I need a moment with my brother, she isolates him. This is a standard tactic of the sophisticated aggressor. Isolation makes the victim more susceptible to manipulation. She clears the stage so that she can dismantle his newfound confidence without witnesses, ensuring that whatever happens next remains contained within their toxic dyad.
What are you doing?
Preparing the expedition north.
Expedition north.
Cersei's question is rhetorical. She knows exactly what he is doing, but she wants him to say it so she can mock it. Jaime's answer is earnest, preparing the expedition north. Reflecting his belief that they are partners in this decision, he is still operating under the we dynamic, assuming that her public pledge at the Dragon Pit was genuine.
I always knew you were the stupidest Lannister. The Starks and Targaryens have united against us, and you want to fight alongside them. Are you a traitor or an idiot?
Cersei launches her attack with a direct insult to his intelligence. This is the cycle of intimidation in action. By labeling him an idiot or a traitor, she forces him into a defensive posture. She reframes his noble intent, saving the world, as a strategic failure, aiding enemies. She views the world strictly through the lens of us versus them, Lannisters versus Starks/Targaryens, completely ignoring the existential threat. This highlights the amputation of the ego extension. She cannot conceive that Jaime might have a motive independent of her own political survival.
You pledged our forces to fight our common
I'll
enemy.
say whatever I need to say to ensure the survival of our house. You expect me to trust the man who murdered our father?
Cersei reveals herself as the Machiavellian fox, admitting that her word is meaningless. She justifies her deceit as necessary for survival, but Jaime sees it as short-sightedness. She invokes the memory of Tywin and xenophobia to manipulate Jaime's loyalty. She is trying to trigger his tribal instincts, hoping that hatred for Tyrion and Daenerys will override his fear of the dead. It is a desperate attempt to drag him back into the summer game of petty grievances.
You saw it with your own eyes. You saw a dead man trying to kill us.
And I saw it burn.
Jaime appeals to empirical reality. He is grounded in the physical threat. Cersei, however, twists that reality. She uses the Whites' vulnerability to fire to dismiss the threat, while simultaneously using the enemy's strength to justify cowardice. This is strategic nihilism. She argues that because the fight is hard, they shouldn't try at all. She is rationalizing her folly of neutrality, ignoring Machiavelli's warning that neutrality ensures ruin because the victor will have no mercy on the bystander.
This isn't about noble houses. This is about the living and the dead.
Let the Stark boy and his new queen defend the North. We stay here where we've always been.
Jaime's line is the thesis of the entire series, marking his full transition to the Winter Soldier. Cersei's retort reveals her parasitic strategy. She plans to let her enemies act as a shield, hoping they will destroy each other. This is a fatal miscalculation. She assumes the Stark boy and Dragon Queen can win without her, or that the Night King will simply stop at the neck. It is the arrogance of someone who has never faced a force that cannot be bargained with.
Our child will rule Westeros.
Our child will never be born if the dead come south.
This exchange perfectly encapsulates the conflict. Jaime is focused on honor. Cersei counters with Dynasty. She tries to use her pregnancy, the ultimate leverage over Jaime, to anchor him, but Jaime flips the logic. The dynasty is irrelevant if the species goes extinct. He proves that his individuation allows him to protect their child better than she can, because he understands the true threat to its life.
If the dead win, they march south and kill us all. If the living win, and we've betrayed them, they march south and kill us all.
Jaime exposes the strategic bankruptcy of her plan with brutal logic. He outlines the binary outcome, death or retribution. There is no third option where Cersei rules. He realizes she is engaging in strategic suicide. By betraying the living, she ensures that whoever survives the North will turn their gaze south with vengeance. He is pleading with her to see that ruling is no longer the objective. Survival is.
How many dragons did you see at the pit? She came here with her dragons and her Dothraki and her Unsullied. She came here to show us all her power. No, something happened. The dragons are vulnerable.
Cersei displays a moment of sharp, tactical insight. She correctly deduces that Daenerys lost a dragon, which emboldens her. This shows her tragedy. She is brilliant at spotting weakness in her enemies, but blind to the overwhelming nature of the threat. She sees a chink in the armor and assumes she can win the war, mistaking a tactical opportunity for a strategic victory.
You should have listened more when Father spoke about the importance of gold. Oh, I know it's boring for you. You just wanted to hunt and ride and fight.
Cersei condescends to Jaime again, positioning herself as the true heir to Tywin Lannister. She believes gold is the ultimate power. She claims to have listened and learned, but she learned the wrong lessons for this new world. Tywin's wisdom applied to political wars, not supernatural ones. She is doubling down on the old game, believing finance can solve a problem that requires steel and blood.
Highgarden brought us the most powerful army in Essos. The Golden Company.
How is a mercenary company in Essos going to help us?
Cersei reveals her ace, the Golden Company, and the elephants she so desires. She believes 20,000 mercenaries will tip the scales. Jaime immediately spots the logistical and morale failure. As Machiavelli states, mercenaries are useless and dangerous. Jaime asks the practical question, how is a mercenary company going to help us? Exposing the disconnect between her fantasy of power and the reality of geography and loyalty.
Do you really think Euron Greyjoy turned tail and sailed back to the Iron Islands? He's sailing with his fleet to Essos. He's going to ferry the Golden Company back here to help us win the war for Westeros.
This is the moment of betrayal. Cersei reveals she plotted with Euron Greyjoy, a rival suitor, behind Jaime's back. Her arrogance is palpable. She believes she can control Euron just as she controlled Jaime. This shatters Jaime's trust. He realizes he is not her partner. He is a pawn she manages while she makes the real moves with other men. It is the ultimate insult to his loyalty.
You plotted with Euron Greyjoy without telling me the command of your armies.
And you conspired with Tyrion, the man who murdered our father without telling me, your queen.
Jaime voices the betrayal, without telling me. Cersei counters with, whataboutism, and you conspired with Tyrion. She creates a false equivalency between Jaime's meeting, intended to create a truce, and her conspiracy, intended to start a war. She emphasizes, your queen, demanding submission to her office because she can no longer command his heart.
You plan to promote my enemy's interests. That is the definition of conspiracy.
Cersei uses legalistic logic, definition of conspiracy, to corner him. She frames any action not explicitly authorized by her as treason. This is the totalitarian ego. She demands absolute control over his agency. She cannot accept that he acted to save the realm. She only sees that he acted without her permission.
I pledged to ride north. I intend to honor that pledge.
And that would be treason.
Treason.
This is the turn. Jaime chooses his vow over his twin. He states his intent clearly. I intend to honor that pledge. It is a reclamation of his identity as a knight, the Oathkeeper. When Cersei calls it treason, Jaime repeats the word incredulously. He realizes she has perverted the concept of loyalty. To her, loyalty means complicity in suicide. He rejects her definition. Disobeying your queen's command, fighting with her enemies.
Disobeying your queen's command, fighting with her enemies, what would you call it?
Doesn't matter what I'd call it.
Jaime dismisses semantics. Doesn't matter. He has moved beyond language games. He realizes that sticking labels like treason or enemy on the situation is irrelevant when the dead are marching. He is operating on a higher moral plane now.
I told you no one walks away from me.
Cersei resorts to physical force, using the mountain as a wall. Her line, "No one walks away from me," reveals her deepest fear: abandonment. She is trying to physically enforce the unity she can no longer maintain psychologically. It is the desperate act of a narcissist losing her self-object.
I'm the only one you have left. Our children are gone. Our father is gone. It's just me and you now.
Jaime calls out her isolation. He reminds her that he is the last tether she has to humanity. "I'm the only one you have left." He challenges her to destroy the final piece of her family. It is a gamble. He is betting that her need for him outweighs her need for control.
There's one more yet to come.
Give the order then.
Cersei touches her stomach, invoking the unborn child. One more yet to come, to guilt him into staying. Jaime calls her bluff. He refuses to be held hostage by the pregnancy any longer. He accepts death over submission. This is the moment he breaks the cycle of intimidation. Cersei hesitates, and Jaime thinks that he has called her bluff. Then Cersei nods to the mountain, who unsheathes his sword. Jaime looks nervous, then makes up his mind. The hesitation is crucial. It shows Cersei is conflicted. But the nod to the mountain is terrifying. She does give the order, or at least the threat of it. Jaime's nervousness grounds the scene. He genuinely believes he might die. He decides that dying free is better than living as her slave. Jaime moves past the mountain, who lets him go. Cersei starts after him, but lets him go. Jaime realizes her power was a construct of his own belief. He realizes she cannot kill him because killing him would be killing herself. One person in two bodies. By walking past the mountain, he proves her powerlessness. He leaves her alone in the courtyard, effectively amputating himself from the rot of House Lannister. This final image of Jaime riding out of King's Landing is one of the most masterful pieces of visual storytelling in the series. When he pauses to cover his golden hand with that black glove, he isn't just hiding a piece of metal. He is performing a funeral rite for the Lannister lion. That gold hand was the ultimate symbol of his father's wealth and his sister's vanity, the things that defined him as a summer child playing political games. By shrouding it in black, he is admitting that in the face of the apocalypse, gold is worthless. Only steel and honor count now. As he rides out, that single snowflake landing on his glove is the universe confirming he made the right choice. It signals that the long summer of denial is officially over. Psychologically, this is the moment Jaime finally achieves individuation. He breaks the toxic we that kept him stunted as Cersei's shadow and reclaims his own soul. He rides into the gray unknown, not as a lover or a brother, but simply as a man who decided that keeping his word to the living matters more than keeping his place in the castle. The shadow is dead. The Winter Soldier is born.